Ghana. My name is Sodi Mohammed Loguma, welcoming you to this edition of The Platform. The Platform is a Radio Nigeria current affair program where we x-ray topical national, societal, and community issues. On today's edition of the program, we are going to look at Agan Agra Rice System Consortium project in Niger State. Is between Niger and Kaduna State, being championed by Agricultural Graduate Association of Nigeria and Agra. We already have seated in the studio the coordinator of Agan in Niger State. He is Alaji Hussein Ilyaso. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning.
All right, we shall be here between now to 11 o'clock, and anything from half past 10 or thereabout, we are going to open our lines for you to contribute to this program. But let me start with Alaji Hussein Ilyasu to tell us more about the Agan Agra Rice System Consortium project. What is it all about?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The entire project, just as the name implies, consortium, rice system. These are keywords that we need to note and break into details for you to understand. When you talk about rice system, you're talking about the entire value chain of rice. And when you talk about consortium, we're talking about a group of people that have come together to work as a team. So the rice system project of Agra is a kind of intervention supported by Agra. Agra is Alliance for Green Revolution Africa. Is an NGO that are supporting farmers in order to increase their productivity. So this rice system is a project designed to capture 100,000 farmers between Niger State and Kaduna. And the idea is to increase their productivity and income along the value chain of rice. And the lead implementer, that's Agricultural Graduate Association of Nigeria, is the lead implementer. Then we have other partners like Onyx that is going to be in charge of off-taking, that is market linkages. Then we have Alluvia that are going to be in charge of financing system of the profiled farmers. Then we also have Niger Food that are going to be in charge of aggregation of surplus rice produced by this farmer. We're supposed to have another partner who is going to come on board very soon that will undo the aspect of mechanization. So if you look at the consortium, each members of the consortium has a particular problem that is going to focus and resolve along the rice value chain. One, Agan be the lead partner. We are going to talk about that. We are going to work about the issue of technology transfer to farmers. We are going to work on restructuring the farmers properly and providing necessary technology that is required for them to be able to increase their productivity and also increase their income at the end of the day, and to make them bankable so that Alluvia, that is a financial outlet, can now be able to work with them and provide them with the different financial models that will enable them to go to access finances to go into production. And now at that point, the next partner that is going to work on mechanization will now come in with its mechanization aspect vis-a-vis the power tillers, the threshers, and the weeders and other equipment that are required along the value chain of rice production. So, and now if you look at this consortium, we are all going to solve these particular problems. One, the problem of data, farmers data base, the problem of technology transfer to farmers, the problem of mechanization will be solved. The problem of access to finance also will be solved. The problem of access to input by the farmers will also be solved, and at large, the problem of access to market as well will be solved. And when we talk about solving the problem, it's not taking away the problem we're talking about. We're talking about converting the problem now to opportunities for the youth to get employed along these value chains. If we are saying, okay, we want to increase the access to input to farmers, people will be staged within the middle that will now be intermediary between the input dealers and these farmers, and those people are going to make some little markup from the assets they are creating for farmers. If we talk about mechanization, there are people that are going to be between the farmers and the mechanization side providers that are coming in now to provide mechanization services, and by way of linking them now they are going to have some markup also in that services. The aggregation, which is going to be one of the major components of this project, because the project is going to finance establishment of some mini stores closer to farmers. You understand? The people that are going to help in aggregation are going to also make money from this activity. Above all, people that are going to link them to market where the off-taker will now come and buy for milling, they're also going to make a markup. And that is why the project has a structure that brings in to youth at a particular point in time that are going to be trained on how they are going to take advantage of this problem that we are solving now to become a business for them to make an earnest living. And whilst when we go further, I will digest the entire structure that we are going to work on. The structure we are going to work on is that there are going to be a stakeholder at the top of the project, which are the people I've mentioned now that are going to be providers of different services to this farmer, vis-a-vis the onyx, the alluvia for financing, the Niger food for aggregation, and some other partners that are going to come in also in the area of policies. You understand? Because some of the activities we are going to do will require some policy backing, like the seeds we are going to promote. We need to introduce people into community seed production, and we need policy backing. You understand? So policy makers are also going to be the major stakeholder. They are going to the apex body of the of the project. Then we are going to have implementing unit also that we call PIU of the project, who are about 7 people that are going to mind the office that are going to do day-to-day running of the project. We have a head of the project, which is myself, the project director and CEO. Then we have project coordinator that is next to me. We have MIE that will be tracking the progress of the project. We have finance officer that is going to be working on how to administer the finances of the project, and we are going to have feed officers that are feed officer that is going to be in charge of the feed office, the feed operators, and we are going to have extension, who is going head of extension, who is going to be charged with transfer technology to these farmers. Then at that management level, we are going to have now another level of extension agents. We have about 9 of them in the project now. We are going to take about 20 before project ends in next 3 years, because it's a 3 years project. Then at the bottom of the project now, we have what we call community-based advisors, CBAs, and smart farmers. These guys are youth that are within these farmers, and I'll be working with them. So they are going to be the one that we are going to stage to take advantage of this problem we're resolving now as a business. And we're going to work about 200 of them before end of the project. And after this cycle, we expect them to groom some youth, which we call farms, community-based service providers that are going to be rendering some of the services for these farmers. Because CBAs are going to handle, each of them will handle minimum of 500 farmers. It's still a large number, so we require them to also get and assistance partners that are going to assist them in getting these farmers in case of aggregation, in case of input supply, in case of other activities they want to do with these farmers. So those are the community-based providers that they are going to develop again at the end of the day. So if you look at the pyramid of the project, it's a structure. So at the bottom now are the beneficiaries of the project, who are now the farmer, the 100,000 farmers that we're targeting. So each CBA is supposed to profile minimum of a profile train minimum of 500 farmers. And how they are going to do their training is through demonstrations. And that's why you can see last time we did flag off, we distributed input to CBS to go and establish demos in their various community for these farmers. So they will now be showcasing the what we call sustainable farming technologies that are the good technologies, but they are not they don't have a negative impact on the production line, because we are trying to encourage agroecology production now, where we have to.
When you say agroecology, Can you shed more light on that?
Agroecology is a system where you go do your production without creating more harm to the ecosystem, to the natural resources, maybe soil and some other things, even the people that will consume the food at the end of the day. So we are bringing some technology that is going to help in improving the soil fertility. So as we are using chemical, which we know it has some little negative impact on the soil and also the woman, we are trying to reduce the number of chemical fertilizer and augment it with organic fertilizer that will now enrich the soil, and not only enrich the soil, it also give the plant a healthy growth. And at the end of the day, when you consume, the little quantity of chemical there is minimal. So that is one of the areas we are bringing. And after that, part of the agroecology technology we are bringing is how do you dispose or utilize your byproduct for making more money without creating more problem to society. You know, the way we dispose it now, in other ways, like burning and some other things, is actually affecting the atmosphere and also affecting our soil, and we're not getting anything from it. So agroecology will come technology how after you harvest your rice, the rice stalk can be converted to something else that you can now use again to make more money. Like I will talk about biochar. We talk about and from biochar you can now create your charcoal. You understand, which you can sell, or conversion of this stock into animal feed that you can now sell for animal. So we are coming out all those technology that will not have damage more on the soil.
Okay, Alhaji Sani, let's look at the duration of this program. How long will this scheme last?
The scheme is going to last for 3 good years, and it's not that is implementation frame, but we are expecting that technology we are modeling now, because what we are doing is model form of technology or a business line would outlive the life of the project, meaning the entire structure is expected to be maintained even after the life of the project. The seven staff, managing staff, the stakeholders we have, the CBAs, the EAs, the farmers are supposed to be one family even after the project. And the modeling, the technologies, the models we are developing to test run are one-stop shop centers. One shop center is a center where a close by to farmers, community based, the farmer can go there and get solution to all his problem in value chain,
Mm.
vis-a-vis the source of seeds, the inputs, the fertilizer, chemicals, technology, essential services, market outlet, all the things that the farmer require information about, whether whatever he requires is going to get it from that one source center. It's expected that what source center should be a business outfit for these CBAs and at the end of the day.
Where would that center be established?
Yeah,
Where will it be
the
instituted?
project is going to test run 3 centers. Already one is in Bida, one is in Boso, and we're expecting that another one will come up to be in Kaduna by next year. So all these are models that are going to test run. Can it be a business outfit? If it's a business outfit and it can serve, then we now look at the number of farmers per a community or per ward that will require establishment of the one-stop shop center. So instead of them going far to buy input, they can within their community go there and buy their input, get technology from the extension agent, get mechanization, and even get market information or outlet for their produce from those center. So we believe that by time before end of the project, we should be able to go beyond the target of the project, looking at the business aspect of it, because if it's well established, even banks, input dealers will be willing to work with these centers to supply the input, and knowing that the input will get to the market. And not only the suppliers or input dealers or banks, even the government, in aspect of finding effective way of getting fertilizer input to the actual farmers, it can partner with these centers to say, okay, we learn that you have 500 farmers under your profile. We are going to bring so number of fertilizer to them or the subsidy, but make sure that it gets into their hands. You understand? Now that is the real farmer we are profiling, because that is one of the things, first thing we are doing now. That's why we gave each CBA a tablet to go and profile this farmer. After this profiling now, we are going to get another consult that will go for data cleaning and data validations to be sure that these farmers are actually farmers that are operating within the community where it was captured by the CBAs. You understand? That's checkmating what they did. So at the end of the day, if we are presenting data to any bank or to any government or agency or to any partner that wants to work with them, will know that we are submitting a authentic list of actual farmers that we have verified that are actual farmers. That is one thing. Second thing that we want to leave after the project is the issue of mechanization model. We are bringing in what we call rent to own model for these CBAs. We are going to bring like 20 to 30 number of partillers to test run. That okay, if we give you this partiller, but we are going to give them with fees, so they will value it. They will pay some little money, knowing that we want to test run something. Then after we have trained them, we'll now give them this particular, go and rent it to your farmers and let's see what you are going to make. We'll be monitoring this account and also monitoring the maintenance of the machine to see how far this machine can generate money to pay back, and also the CBA will now make a markup more money from out of it, and we now develop all this into a business line. Even aggregation is a good business that we can say, okay, if you aggregate for 400 farmers for Onyx or for Niger food, how is going to give you some markup from there. So these are business model. We are converting the problems existing in the farm and value chain of rice into a business model. You understand that these CBAs that the youth in community can take up as a business, and also bring some youth under them to be able to also take it as a business. And mind you, I said we are going to work with the 200 CBAs, but we are targeting 3,000 youths that will be under these CBAs, you understand, to take advantage of market we are creating, because money hide in people. When you have people that you are going to render services to, value to, you are going to make money from them. And that's what we are teaching these guys. Go and profile actual farmers that are into activity. By the time you have them in numbers, people will be looking for you to work with you to this through you to these farmers, and by so doing you'll be making money. So first thing we are asking them to do now, get a database of genuine farmers. When you get that, we are going to create services for you that are going to render to them, and by the time we're ready services to them, you'll be making some money. So we expect this model we are trying now to outlive the life of the project, so that the project will go, but these things will go. And that is why one of the target of the project is to see that we attract at least 3 to 4 billion into the project investments through the activity. And these are the things I'm telling you now. By the time you can put even 20,000 farmers into active production, by the time you quantify what they're going to produce and off-taking is more than 5 billion.
All right, you're on to the platform on Radio Nigeria Power FM Bidda. On today's edition of the program, we are looking at Agan Agra Rice System Consortium project being championed by Agan in Niger State. And this program is between Niger State and Kaduna State, where about 6 local governments are being captured in Niger State, and of course 3 from Zone A. Now, you have been using CBA, community-based advisors. Let's talk about these people. Since the inauguration about, I think less than 2 weeks ago,
Yeah, about 2 3 weeks.
in front of the likes of the EDNCRI, Dr. MN Ishak, we have Alhaji Usman Kutigi, who represented the Etunupe, Rani Nupe, that's the Secretary of Bida Emirates. Alhaji Abdul Malik Usman was also there. We have Kusodu Nupe, is the chairman of All Farmers Association in Niger State. Yeah. All these people are there, including the CBS you have been using. Now, let's talk about them. Have you received any report from them since the flag off?
Yeah, since flag off, immediately after flag off, we did the training for them on how to use digital tools to profile farmers. And immediately after that, they swing to action, because we also teach them the protocols of demo establishment for farmers, which they are now presently in the field. They have been profiling farmers. We have target of 50,000 this year, 50,000 next year. But as I'm talking to you now, so far 30,000 rice farmers have been profiled. In fact, because as they are profiling, we are cleaning data. If we are to work with what they've sent all together, we should be talking about something thousand farmers profiled so far. But we have to be cleaning, because if we don't put complete name of a farmer, we'll put it aside. Later we'll come and look at it, but we don't count it for you as again because we are paying them, as I say, we're engaging them, we're paying them for this profiling they are doing, and we want to also pay them monthly stipends because this thing they are doing, they are like in a school, but practical school this time around. But some practical school is more or less practical and theory, but is more practical than theory. So now they are now profiling the farmers. So far, about almost 30,000 farmers have been profiled. They have established, they're establishing demos also now at the different community level. So we expect them to finish this thing in next 2 weeks. That we have 50,000 farmer profiled, and all the demo farms should have been established to now start teaching farmers on the good agronomic practices.
Okay, now talking about this program, a lot of people will tell you, well, uncle, brother, there was this, there was that. Um, what's the difference between this and other programs, especially those ones that failed in Nigeria and Niger State in particular?
Yeah, the difference is that this project, what we're doing now, the entire package, which is about 2 point something, 1 point something billion now, the entire package now that Agra is spending is just establishing structure, marketable, bankable structure. Is not supporting farmers for now that go into production. No, because you can't say somebody go into production with your money without teaching him what he's going to produce, how he's going to produce it. So what this project is going to do for between now and next 3 years is to develop a structure that will be bankable by any government organization or any agency or any bank. And that's why we said we expected that about 3 billion should be attracted to this investment. This structure should attract about 3 billion. So the difference now is that the project is being taken stage by stage. The first stage is institution management body, which I've just mentioned to you. Look at the structure I've just told you now. We have stakeholders, we have management cadre, we have extension, we have CBAs, and we're now profiling farmers. These farmers will undergo training for 3 years under a demo of these smart farmers. 3 good years, they'll be going training on how to produce rice for productivity, identify all the challenges and solving all the challenges. So now, before it will get to stage of Ankoba program maturely, that the Ankoba that brought money, it will be next 3 years. So it's not, we are not crash landing to program. And mind you, this is not a new idea. If you didn't forget, these are ideas we have been promoting for more than decades. We have worked in a small scale with Chevron in the past, 2016. We have worked with Jaize in small scale. You understand? We have worked with the Bad Foundation in small scale, about 2, 3 communities. You understand? So that is the technology now we are upscaling into a larger scale now. And as we're upscaling, we don't jump into investment as Anchor program did. We are developing what structure fast, so that the farmers you are going to work with, you are sure that these are authentic farmers. You have enough extension agents on ground that have known the business of the day and they know what you want to achieve. You have management team that are on ground, they know what you want to achieve. So now, by the time investments is coming, you can see the harmony in working relationship will now be developed. Because these people have worked together for 3 years, trying to develop this structure, trying to understand themselves, trying to identify the problems in the business. And after that 3 years, they are good to go. The structure is good for good business, and we're expecting that we should be able to attract more than 10 billion by the time we're done, because we want at least 20,000 out of this 100,000 farmers should be bankable and should be linked to finance window to be able to go into production. Quantify 20,000 farmers investment is in billions.
Okay, the demonstration centers being handled by the CBS. What is the criteria for selection? What criteria did you use in getting this CBS?
The CBS, in first place, the criteria for CBS is a deliberate criteria. It's not a coincidence or by chance. No, these people who have been working with them for more than 5, 6, 7 years now in different projects. You understand what I'm saying? So we know that within the community there are smart farmers. They are knowledgeable among the farmers. They are also accepted by the farmers in their community. They are wiser and they are what you call is it cosmopolitan
Cosmopolitan.
cosmopolitan individual in the community. They live partially in community, also live, they have more knowledge of urban area. So these are people that we now know that yes, they can deliver this project. Some of them are agri professionals, some of them are not. Some of them are secondarians, but because they have practical knowledge of this business and they are being in it, we are now bringing them in now to build on the capacity they have existing. So that we didn't, and that's why you can see we didn't announce anywhere. You can never see the announcement of want to pick Sony or CBA anywhere. No, because they are in existence. We are working with them for long. Even the staff will pick from the ADP because it's a public-private partnership. The 9 of them will pick from the ADP are people that have been working with us, are member of Agan for a long time. So it's not issue of we have an announcement for a particular criteria. No, the criteria is that these guys are been tested for a long time and they have been proven they have that ability to deliver a project of this nature. So the best thing for us is to look for them instead of going to look for fresh people that we are going to start all over with them. So probably by the time we are going into expansion of this program, because as a pilot, imagine pilot is working with 200 farmers. By the time we are going to actual investment, sorry, 200 CBAs. By the time we are going to actual investment, how many CBAs do you think we are going to take? So at that time, we can afford to advertise, knowing that we have people that they can learn quickly under them. And if I didn't forget, I think I told you that these CBAs are going to have mentees under them as well. You understand? So when we are coming to expand for more CBAs, it's going to be very easy for us to say, okay, we are introduce people that you have mentoring in your community all this while. Because what we are doing for them also now is train and mentoring, and we expect them to also have some people that maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 that will be mentoring under them also. So by the time we need expansion, it's going to be easy for us to pick them instead of saying, okay, we are going here or on here. We may go at the point where what we have on ground is not enough to give us what exactly we want, but already system has been built. So once you come in, system will change automatically. You'll be able to learn fast with the system. It's not a new system any longer. The system will stay, so it's going to be easy for us if we are bringing new people in to build a capacity to the standard what we want.
Okay, before we open our lines, I would like to get your views on two issues. One, I want you to state categorically what differentiates this scheme from others, especially the advantages of this scheme, so that somebody who is just joining us maybe will just
Yeah,
get a summary of what we have discussed
yeah,
so far.
I've mentioned so many things that are advantageous in this particular project, starting from the issue of data reliability. Our major problem in all administration is data of actual farmers.
Mm.
And that is why we keep on talking about portable farmers. Somebody will also say Yahoo farmers. I'm not hearing that one yesterday, Yahoo farmers. You understand? So now, one thing that this project is bringing in, different from other projects, is data validation. You understand? Because if you don't have the actual good data, you cannot be able to work. You can't plan.
Mm.
That's why we're failing in our programs. We don't have data, actual data to plan on. That's the first thing. Second thing is that this project is coming in with a reliable structure that will undergo training and mentorship for a period of time before they can be bankable or say they can now go into full investment. So all this period we are going into now, both the EAs and the CBAs are in a school where they are going to learn training and mentorship. You understand? Practical mentorship. That is another thing that is coming in. Another thing that is coming in now is open up job opportunity for youth, particularly in the rural areas. We are creating job opportunity by converting the problems in the value chain into opportunity for the youth in the rural area. We call them rural youth employment program. You understand? Where youth will now be encouraged to render services to farmers at the community level, so that anybody coming from outside will not access farmer directly until you go through these guys, and they will now make little money out of that services that they will be rendering, which will give them a full-time job better than a government employee.
Okay,
No, I'm not done with the advantage.
Okay.
The other advantage is that the one-stop shop center will help farmers to access input. When we talk input, we're talking of improved input easily and timely at the right quantity, because these are three keywords: easy access, timely, and the right quantity. That is what one stop shop is going to provide to the farmer, not only input, even mechanization and market outlet that this project is going to promote will also be at advantage of farmers. And at the end of the day, you want to be at advantage. Apart from the job creation, issue of food security is also there. Imagining engaging 20,000 rice farmers to go into cultivation minimum of 1 to 2 hectares. When you quantify the quantum of food they are going to churn out of the system is in large, going to be in large number. So these are some of the advantage that I can enumerate. You understand? Above all, it's going to be a sustainable system, not like a government program that when new government come, it goes with that government. No, this program is on and developed by private entity. You know, for about 15 years now we've been in this business. I don't mean it's a government system now. By now we'll have been asked to go, and maybe our ideas will have going to down drain now, as it has been in Obasanjo administration. It's a different policy. Yaradua, it was the same policy. Jonathan, it was different policy, and even the board was different policy. The same party are even changing policy of their predecessor. So you can see that is sustainability is key in development. You cannot have development if there's no sustainability of the system, and that is what another advantage that this project is going to bring in the food system for agriculture.
Okay, so far, what challenge or what are the challenges you have noticed as far as this project is concerned? Have you noticed anything that you think is going to serve as setback?
Yeah, the major thing that I can say it are existing problem which we are trying to solve. You understand? And as you can see from the flag of, we try to integrate every other stakeholder, traditional institutions, government agencies, everybody is involved from day one, because we know that's where we're going to have challenges. Acceptability by traditional institution, acceptability by the government is going to be a key factor, a problem that we envisage, but we are able to solve that by engaging with those stakeholders that are critical in the success of this project from day one. In fact, to give you this previous information, by tomorrow we are going to sign MOU with Ministry of Agriculture in Niger State to work in harmony, so that whatever we are bringing should not be a strength to them that, oh no, these people are trying to compete with us. No, no, no. We are complementary partners. You understand? So the other aspect that I can say, which is beyond all human control, is issue of flood that may likely come at the point of investment, but also that we are trying to see how we improve drastic production. So at whatever we lost in the sorry, so whatever we lost in the rainy season, we can be able to augment it. And even rainy season, we are going to read weather pattern to see that we avoid flooded periods. You understand?
I don't know why my producer is to get water for Alhaji Hussein Ilya, so
it's okay. I think I have one in the car. I only forgot to bring it in. So as I was saying, we are looking at that the weather issue, but as the solution, because as I'm telling you the problems, I'm also telling you the solutions that we already put in place as mitigation measures. You understand? The other aspect which is also above our control is aspect of disease outbreak. You understand? Because this outbreak can come sometimes unexpected. There's a period that farmers were complaining that rats were eating up as if it's and all those things are pest infestation that sometimes you don't expect them, but they come in. Sometimes you are not prepared for them. Controlling them will be difficult when they have done a huge damage to you. So that this unforeseen, understand, risk that may come in, like this infestation of pests and the diseases that may come in, and sometimes you are not prepared for it before you curtail it, cause a lot of damage. So these are, apart from all these things, I don't think they are going to be much a problem if there is a commitment and will, you understand, and collaboration of different entity. I think other problems that has to do with off-taking and finances that are major issues that will require for success, I think we should be able to overcome them. By the time we have what we need to have as an a prepared investor, all the banks will be willing to work. And we have government has a lot of banks like Agricultural Development Bank are there for all these programs that are credible. And yeah, I think that finances will not be a problem at the end of the day.
Okay, sir, quickly before we open our line, assuming one is ready, I am ready to join this scheme. That is Agra Rice Consortium project
Project.
today. What are the modalities? What do I need to do to be part of this project?
Yeah, but just as I said, it's a pilot scheme, and we're just running some models. So we're not in all community or all local government, just as we mentioned.
Mm.
Like in Zone A now, we're working in only 3 local government. Imagine out of the 8 local government we have. So
You try to use the local governments again.
yeah, but we are going to increase them by next year. We are working in Bida, we are working in Kacha, and we are working in Lavu.
Okay.
So if you are within this local government, yes, the criteria is for you to be an actual farmer for now. Because later on, we are going to encourage you to come into fold of agriculture, even though you are not an practitioner, we are trying to bring a kind of template, you understand, that is going to help you to use your finances to go into production. And by proxy, somebody will do production for you with your money and you're making money. So that stage is coming. But we're at the stage of actual farmers now. If you have a farmland and you are into production of rice or soybeans or maize, because there are 3 crops that we consider, but majorly is the rice because that is our focus for now. But going forward, there are going to be expansion. So once you are an actual farmer and you are in your community, and regardless we are there or not there now, if you can reach out to us, we can assign somebody to go to that community and profile you guys so that you can benefit from the project. But be an actual farmer is the key condition.
You're onto the platform on Radio Nigeria Power FM Ida, Niger State. On today's edition of the program, we have been looking at Agan Agra Rice System Consortium project. There's a project between Niger and Kaduna State, and of course, it's already on in 3 local government areas of Lavun, Bida, and Kacha
Kacha
local
local
government.
government.
And Alhaji Hussein Ilyasu, the Niger State Coordinator of Agriculture Graduate Association, has been in the studio. To talk to us on this program, call us on the number 07069 254376.